Have you ever noticed a strange, persistent smell and wondered if it was just part of getting older? Maybe it's something subtle, an unusual scent you can't quite place, that quietly worries you, but you're not sure if it's worth mentioning. For many women over 60, these little hints from our bodies can feel like whispers of a bigger story. You might think, is this just aging? But what if it's not? What if these smells are important signals from your body trying to tell you something crucial? It's easy to overlook these signs, thinking they're normal or unimportant, but sometimes what seems small can point to health issues we shouldn't ignore. That's why today, I want to gently guide you through 5 smells every older woman should pay attention to, because recognizing them early can make a real difference in your well-being. By the end of this video, you'll learn what these smells could mean and simple, everyday steps you can take to stay healthy and comfortable. Let's walk through this together, because caring for yourself is the most important journey at any age. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. For most of our lives, we're taught to think of body odor as simply an inconvenience, a small embarrassment to be dealt with by a quick shower or a swipe of deodorant. We learn to cover up, spray a little perfume, and move on with our day. But for many women over 60, there's a quiet, unspoken truth. Sometimes, a sudden change in the way we smell is more than just a matter of personal hygiene. Imagine this. You wake up one morning, reach for your robe, and notice a new, unfamiliar scent. Maybe it's faint, almost impossible to describe, but it lingers. You try to brush it off, thinking, I'm just getting older. This is probably normal. You don't mention it to anyone, not to your daughter, not even to your closest friend. After all, everyone says things change as we age. But let's pause for a moment and challenge that common belief. Is it just age, or is your body quietly trying to get your attention? Could these subtle changes in scent be tiny signals, gentle nudges from within, telling you that something in your body needs care or a closer look? The truth is, what we often dismiss as just getting older can sometimes be early warning signs of shifts in our health. You see, our bodies are incredibly wise, always communicating with us, even in ways we might not expect. The sense of smell, in particular, is one of the most primal tools we have for detecting change. For example, long before blood tests or modern scans, our ancestors relied on the subtle cues of scent to sense illness or imbalance. Today, science tells us that body odors are more than social concerns. They are biological messages. When your body's chemistry shifts, whether due to hormones, metabolism, hydration, diet, or underlying conditions, it can result in new or stronger odors. This isn't something to feel ashamed of or to hide. It's simply your body's way of speaking up. Especially as we age, paying attention to these signals becomes more important than ever. After 60, our immune systems are not quite as sharp, our hormones fluctuate, and our bodies process everything, from food to medications, a little differently. These changes can be subtle at first, like the barely there mustiness in your shoes, or a breath that smells different even after brushing. Sometimes, these small changes are just that, small. But sometimes, they're an early whisper about something deeper, a change in kidney function, a shift in blood sugar, or even an infection beginning to brew. Take, for example, Mrs. Miller, a retired librarian from Ohio. For most of her life, she prided herself on staying active and healthy, but she started noticing that her body odor was different, sharper, almost metallic, despite her routine not changing. At first, she shrugged it off, thinking it was just one of those quirks of aging. But a little voice inside told her to bring it up at her next doctor's visit. To her surprise, her doctor took her concerns seriously and ordered some blood work. The results showed early signs of kidney changes. By catching it early, Mrs. Miller was able to adjust her diet and medications and avoid more serious health problems. She later told her friends, I'm so glad I listened to what my body was telling me. That strange little change may have saved my life. You might wonder, isn't this all just part of getting older? Shouldn't I just accept these changes and move on? It's a fair question, but the answer is that while some changes in scent are normal with age, others are not. Our bodies are like old friends. They know us better than anyone else. They notice when something's off, and they try to let us know in whatever way they can. Paying attention to new or changing odors isn't about vanity or fussiness. It's about caring for the only body you'll ever have. It's about protecting your well-being, your comfort, and your independence. So, what can you do if you notice a new or unusual body odor? First, try not to panic. Most changes are harmless and easily explained. However, if a scent is persistent, strong, or comes with other symptoms like fatigue, weight loss, changes in appetite, or pain, don't hesitate to mention it to your doctor. Simple changes, like drinking more water, adjusting your diet, or paying closer attention to personal hygiene, can sometimes make a world of difference. If the smell is related to medications, your doctor might adjust your prescription. If it points to something deeper, early detection can help you stay ahead of the problem. Let's make this practical. Try to notice your body's rhythms. Pay attention after you exercise, after you eat different foods, or when you change medications. Make note of any changes, no matter how small, and share them with your healthcare provider or a trusted loved one. And don't let embarrassment stop you. Remember, your health is always worth the conversation. To bring this even closer to home, let's look at another real-life story. Mrs. Jackson, who lives in Florida, had always kept a neat house and followed a careful hygiene routine. But after her husband passed away, she began to notice a musty smell in her bedroom. At first, she blamed it on Florida's humidity. But as weeks went by, she found herself feeling tired, coughing more, and struggling to sleep. One afternoon, her granddaughter visited and noticed the smell right away. Together, they found hidden mold behind the headboard and in the closet. Once the mold was cleaned up, Mrs. Jackson's energy and breathing improved dramatically. Sometimes, the odors we notice are environmental, but they still matter to our health. In the end, it's about treating yourself with the same kindness and curiosity you would offer a dear friend. If you notice something new, don't scold yourself or brush it aside. Instead, see it as a small act of self-care, a gentle check-in from your body. Aging brings many changes, some expected and some surprising. But every change is an invitation to listen, to learn, and to love yourself just a little bit more. So, the next time you notice a scent that's new or different, pause for a moment. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what might my body be trying to tell me? And if you're not sure, reach out. You deserve to feel comfortable, confident, and cared for at every stage of life. Paying attention to these small signs isn't just about health. It's about honoring the wonderful, wise person you've become. The 5 smells you should never ignore after 60. Smell 1. Unusual vaginal odor or foul smell. For many women, certain changes are simply swept aside with a quiet sigh and a shrug. After all, living more than 6 decades teaches you to take small discomforts in stride, to not make a fuss over things that might feel a bit embarrassing. But there's a private worry that lingers in the minds of many older women, even if it's rarely spoken out loud. A sudden, unusual odor down there. It's a topic most of us were taught to avoid mentioning. We whisper about it, if at all, and brush it off as just one more oddity of getting older. Picture this. One morning, you're getting dressed, and as you change your underclothes, you notice a faint, sour, or sometimes even fishy odor. It isn't something you remember smelling before. Not like after a long day out gardening. Not like after exercising or skipping a shower. Maybe it makes you pause. You wonder, is this just part of aging? Or did I eat something odd? For some, the scent might be stronger after sitting for a while, or after a night's sleep. Still, it's easy to reassure yourself. Maybe it's the new detergent, or maybe you just need to drink more water. But what if the real answer isn't so simple? What if this unfamiliar odor is your body's quiet way of waving a little red flag, asking you to pay attention? It's tempting to assume all changes are just because we're getting older, but sometimes that isn't the case. Could it be that what seems like a minor annoyance is something that needs gentle care or even a doctor's advice? Let's talk about why this happens, in plain, simple language. Our bodies are full of good bacteria that help keep everything balanced, including in the vaginal area. As women age, especially after menopause, hormone levels shift and natural lubrication changes, which can throw off that healthy balance. When that happens, bacteria or yeast can multiply more than usual, leading to a strong or unpleasant odor. Sometimes, it's just a mild imbalance. But in other cases, it might signal an infection, like bacterial vaginosis or a yeast infection. Less often, but still importantly, persistent foul odor can hint at more serious issues such as trichomoniasis, urinary tract infections, or even, though rarely, early signs of certain cancers. Some women also experience a watery or unusual discharge, itching, or irritation. It's important to notice if the smell is accompanied by other symptoms, such as discomfort, bleeding, pain, or burning. But even if there are no other symptoms, a persistent, new vaginal odor is worth your attention. So what should you do if you notice this kind of change? First, know that you're not alone. Millions of women go through this, even if they don't talk about it. There's nothing shameful about bringing it up with your healthcare provider. In fact, it's one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. Schedule a gentle, routine checkup and describe what you're experiencing. Doctors who work with older women hear these concerns all the time. They can check for infections, review your medications, and help you feel confident that you're not missing anything important. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. There are also practical, everyday steps you can take at home. Keep the vaginal area clean and dry, but avoid harsh soaps or scented products, which can irritate sensitive skin. Wear loose-fitting, breathable cotton underwear and change them daily. Skip prolonged soaks in hot water or bubble baths, which can strip away good bacteria. After using the restroom, always wipe from front to back. If you use pads or liners, change them frequently and avoid perfumed varieties. And remember, what you eat and drink matters. Staying hydrated and eating probiotic-rich foods like yogurt can help support healthy bacteria. Now, let me share a story that may sound familiar. Mrs. Thompson, a lively 73-year-old living in Pennsylvania, was known in her neighborhood for her radiant garden and warm smile. But she quietly struggled with an unfamiliar vaginal odor that made her self-conscious, especially when visiting her grandchildren. She tried switching soaps, drinking extra water, and even airing out her linen closet, thinking the smell might be coming from somewhere else. For weeks, she tried to ignore it. Finally, during her annual checkup, her doctor asked, "Have you noticed any changes in your body lately?" The question opened a door. Mrs. Thompson, though embarrassed, described the odor and how it worried her. Her doctor gently reassured her, performed a simple exam, and discovered a mild bacterial infection. Nothing serious, but something that needed treatment. A short course of medication cleared things up. More importantly, Mrs. Thompson learned that listening to her body wasn't something to feel ashamed of. It was a sign of wisdom and self-respect. As women, we spend our lives caring for others. Children, partners, friends, neighbors. We learn to endure discomfort quietly, to put ourselves last. But sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is pay attention to your own needs. A strange or foul vaginal odor isn't something to hide or ignore. It's your body's way of asking for a little extra care. If you notice it, don't be afraid. Take that small step. Make an appointment, speak up, or try gentle changes at home. And if it helps, remember you're walking a path shared by countless women your age. It takes courage to face the things we're taught not to talk about, but your health and comfort matter. Your years of wisdom have taught you the importance of paying attention to life's little details. This is just another one, a message from your body reminding you that you're worth caring for. So today, let this be your encouragement. Don't brush off what your body is telling you, no matter how small it seems. Trust yourself. Seek answers when you need them. And remember, every step you take toward your well-being is a gift, not just to yourself, but to everyone who loves you. You've spent a lifetime caring for others. Now it's your turn to listen, to heal, and to thrive. Smell 2. Persistent bad breath. There's a moment, often quiet and private, when you catch a whiff of your breath and wonder, did I forget to brush my teeth? Maybe it's the morning, maybe after a cup of coffee, or maybe you notice it after a long phone call with a friend. For many women over 60, a change in breath, especially one that lingers no matter what you do, can feel embarrassing or unsettling. You may try to ignore it, pop a mint, brush again, or rinse with mouthwash, hoping it goes away. Most of the time, we tell ourselves it's just part of aging, another small inconvenience that comes with getting older. But what if there's more to this story? What if that stubborn bad breath isn't just a sign you missed a spot while brushing, but a whisper from your body, a gentle, persistent clue that something else might be going on inside? Most people think of bad breath as a dental problem, something to be solved with better brushing or a trip to the dentist. It's true, as we age, our gums and teeth need more care. Gums can recede, dentures might not fit as well as they used to, and dry mouth, a common side effect of many medications, can create an environment where bacteria thrive. These factors all play a role. But persistent bad breath, especially the kind that doesn't go away after cleaning your teeth, can be your body's way of saying, pay attention. Let's explore why. When the mouth is healthy, saliva washes away food particles and keeps bacteria in check. But as we age, saliva production can slow down. This dry mouth, xerostomia, is more common than most people realize and is often caused by blood pressure medications, antihistamines, and other prescriptions that seniors rely on. Without enough saliva, odor-causing bacteria have a chance to multiply, especially in the grooves of the tongue, along the gums, or beneath dentures. The result? Breath that stays unpleasant, no matter how much you clean. But there's another layer to this story, one that many people don't know. Sometimes, persistent bad breath points to a problem far beyond your mouth. For example, a fruity or sweet odor can be an early warning sign of diabetes, especially if your blood sugar isn't well controlled. Ammonia-like breath can point to kidney problems, while a sour, metallic, or rotten egg odor might signal gastrointestinal issues or a hidden infection in the sinuses or lungs. Even a simple, ongoing cough or postnasal drip can leave a bad taste in your mouth and a bad smell on your breath. This isn't to scare you, but rather to encourage gentle awareness. Your body has ways of letting you know when something isn't quite right, and your breath is one of those messengers. The good news is, by noticing these changes and talking about them, you can catch problems early, sometimes before they become serious. So, what's a gentle, everyday approach you can take? First, keep up your daily dental care. Brush twice a day, use a soft toothbrush, and remember to clean your tongue. Most of the bacteria that cause bad breath live there. If you wear dentures, clean them thoroughly every night and have them checked by your dentist at least once a year. Drink plenty of water to help keep your mouth moist and rinse away food particles. Sucking on sugar-free lozenges or chewing gum can stimulate saliva production, making a world of difference. If you've already tried these things and your breath still won't improve, don't be shy about speaking up at your next doctor's visit. Let your doctor know if you have a dry mouth, notice any changes in taste, or if the odor is especially persistent or unusual. Your doctor or dentist can check for infections, review your medications, and even run simple blood or urine tests if something more serious is suspected. Let's share a real-life story. Ms. Ellen, a retired schoolteacher in Michigan, was always careful about her appearance. But one day, her granddaughter mentioned, innocently, but honestly, "Grandma, your breath smells funny." Embarrassed, Ellen brushed her teeth again, drank extra water, and even switched toothpaste. Still, the problem didn't go away. During a routine checkup, Ellen mustered up her courage and told her doctor. The doctor listened, asked a few questions, and decided to run a blood sugar test. It turned out Ellen's blood sugar was much higher than normal. She was in the early stages of type 2 diabetes. With this early warning, Ellen was able to make changes to her diet and medications before any serious complications occurred. That awkward moment with her granddaughter ended up being a blessing in disguise. It's easy to feel self-conscious about bad breath, to think it's a reflection of our habits or our hygiene. But it's important to remember, persistent bad breath is just one more way your body communicates with you. It's not something to be ashamed of or to hide. It's something to pay attention to, with the same care you'd give to a friend. If you live alone, it can be harder to notice. You may want to ask a close friend or family member to be honest with you, or simply pay attention to how your mouth feels throughout the day. If you find yourself constantly reaching for mints or feeling a sticky, dry sensation, that's your cue to check in with your dentist or doctor. And please, don't let embarrassment keep you from getting the help you need. You deserve to feel fresh, comfortable, and confident, no matter your age. Small changes, a sip of water, a conversation with your doctor, can make a big difference. If there's an underlying problem, catching it early can protect not just your mouth, but your whole body. So next time you notice your breath isn't as fresh as you'd like, take a gentle, curious approach. Ask yourself, is there something my body is trying to tell me? Trust that it's worth checking out. You have earned the right, after so many years of caring for others, to care deeply for yourself as well. Sometimes, it's the little signs, like a lingering breath, that lead us to the biggest and most important answers. Let this be your encouragement. Stay attentive, stay compassionate with yourself, and know that you're not alone on this journey. Your well-being is worth every bit of gentle attention you give it, today and always. Smell 3. Abnormal body odor. There's a quiet moment, maybe as you're getting ready for bed or folding laundry, when you notice something different, a change in your scent. It isn't the smell of a hard day's work, or the light, familiar musk that comes after a brisk walk or a summer afternoon in the garden. No, this is something new, something stronger, or simply off. For many women over 60, noticing a change in body odor can bring a rush of questions or even embarrassment. Often, it's easier to ignore, to chalk it up to age, to not mention it at all. After all, isn't it normal for the body to change as the years go by? But let's pause here. Is every change in scent simply another sign of aging, or could your body be whispering a message you shouldn't ignore? What if your new body odor isn't just about sweat or the heat, but a gentle clue that something else is happening inside you? The truth is, while some shifts in our scent are indeed a normal part of growing older, other times, body odor can be a subtle early warning sign. As we age, our bodies go through all kinds of changes. Hormones fluctuate after menopause, our skin becomes thinner and drier, and our metabolism slows down. These shifts affect everything, even the way our bodies produce and release scent. Sometimes, it's just a gentle reminder that our bodies are aging gracefully. But other times, it's our body's way of saying, "Hey, pay attention." Let's take a closer look at what's happening beneath the surface. Science tells us that body odor is mostly caused by bacteria breaking down sweat on our skin. In younger years, hormones like estrogen and testosterone keep things fairly stable. But after menopause, those hormone levels drop, which can cause our sweat glands to work differently. This can mean sweat that smells stronger, or different than you remember. Medications can also change the way you smell, as can changes in your diet, hydration, and even the laundry products you use. But here's where it gets important. Sometimes, a sudden or dramatic change in body odor can signal a health problem. For example, A strong, ammonia-like smell can point to dehydration or kidney issues, while a sweet, fruity scent can be an early sign of diabetes, especially if blood sugar isn't well controlled. Liver problems may cause a musty, almost moldy odor. Even certain infections, thyroid changes, or problems with digestion can make your body smell different than before. It's important not to panic. Most changes are harmless, and a bit of extra hygiene or a tweak in your routine may be all you need. But your body is wise. If it keeps sending you the same signal, if you notice your scent is changing and you can't link it to something simple like new soap or extra exercise, it's worth a second look. So what can you do, day by day, to listen gently to these cues? Start with the basics. Shower regularly, use gentle soaps, and wear breathable, cotton clothing to help sweat evaporate naturally. Stay hydrated, since water helps your body flush out toxins and keep sweat dilute. Try to avoid heavily perfumed products that can irritate skin or mask problems. If you notice that certain foods, like garlic, onions, or spicy dishes, make your sweat smell stronger, consider adjusting your diet. And remember, medication side effects are common in older adults. If you start a new prescription and notice a sudden change in body odor, mention it to your doctor. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But above all, don't keep worries to yourself. If the odor is strong or persistent, or you notice other symptoms like fatigue, unexplained weight loss, changes in urine or stool, or skin that turns yellow or itchy, reach out to your healthcare provider. These details might feel small, but they are important pieces of your health story. Let me share a true story to bring this home. Mrs. Linda, a cheerful 70-year-old from Indiana, always believed in a splash of perfume and a tidy appearance. When she started noticing her sweat had a strange, sharp scent, even after showering, she brushed it off at first. Maybe it was just the hot summer, she thought. But as weeks passed, the smell grew stronger. She also found herself thirstier than usual and visiting the bathroom more often. During her annual physical, Linda mentioned these little changes. Her doctor ordered some simple blood tests and discovered her blood sugar was high. Linda was in the early stages of type 2 diabetes. Thanks to her honesty, she was able to make small changes to her diet and lifestyle, bringing her blood sugar back under control before any serious complications set in. Linda's story is a gentle reminder. Sometimes, what feels embarrassing or not worth mentioning is a blessing in disguise. Your body is always looking out for you, even if the messages are unexpected. It's not about being vain or fussy. It's about being wise, attentive, and proactive. So if you find yourself catching a new scent, take a breath and treat yourself with compassion. Ask, what is my body trying to tell me? Maybe you need a bit more water. Maybe it's time for a checkup or a small change in medication. Maybe it's nothing at all, but checking is never the wrong choice. Aging is a journey filled with surprises. Every new wrinkle, every change in taste or smell, is part of your story. But the most powerful lesson is this: you are your own best advocate. The more you notice, the more you share, the more empowered you are to protect your health and well-being. Don't let embarrassment silence you. Your body signals, big or small, matter. They are signs of wisdom, resilience, and self-care. By listening, you give yourself the best chance for comfort and confidence at every stage. So let today be your encouragement. Trust what you notice. Speak up if something feels different. And know, deep down, that you are worth every ounce of attention and kindness you give yourself. Your health, your comfort, your story, they all matter, now and always. Smell 4. Persistent odor from clothes or shoes. There are little things in life that we learn to accept without much thought. A favorite cardigan with a stubborn musty scent. A pair of shoes that never quite smell fresh no matter how often they're cleaned. For women over 60, these minor annoyances can become part of the everyday routine. Maybe you toss your shoes onto the porch after a walk, or leave a sweater hanging by the open window, hoping the fresh air will do the trick. Sometimes, though, no matter what you try, the odors remain, and a quiet worry lingers beneath the surface. You might tell yourself it's just normal. Everyone's shoes get a little musty over time, and old clothes sometimes take on a life of their own. But what if it's not just about age or wear and tear? Could that stubborn smell from your shoes or clothing be telling you something about your health, or perhaps even your home? Here's where the story takes a thoughtful turn. Many people assume that persistent odors in clothing or footwear are just facts of life, nothing to worry about, just a sign that something's well loved. But in truth, certain odors can point to issues like hidden infections, skin problems, or even more subtle changes in how our bodies function as we age. Sometimes, it's about the environment, a bit of dampness or poor ventilation. But sometimes, your body is leaving quiet clues that deserve your attention. Let's dig a little deeper into the science and common sense behind this. Shoes and clothing naturally collect sweat, skin cells, and oils over time. In our younger years, our bodies manage these things easily. Sweat evaporates, skin renews, and little changes are quickly balanced out. But as we get older, our skin can become thinner and more fragile. Circulation may slow down, and it's easier for bacteria and fungi to settle in. Sweaty feet, for example, create the perfect environment for fungal infections, especially if circulation isn't what it used to be. Older skin is also more prone to cracks or little injuries that allow bacteria to grow, adding to the odor problem. And it's not just about the feet. Sometimes, chronic moisture or difficulty drying clothes thoroughly can mean that mildew or mold is growing in the fibers. That musty, sour smell isn't just unpleasant. It can be a health risk, especially for anyone with sensitive lungs or a weakened immune system. Plus, some medications, medical conditions, or dietary changes can alter the way your sweat smells, making odors more persistent. So, what are some gentle, everyday solutions? Start with good foot and skin care. Wash your feet every day with warm water and mild soap, making sure to dry carefully, especially between the toes. Choose breathable cotton socks and comfortable shoes that let air circulate. Rotate shoes so they have time to dry fully between wears, and avoid wearing the same pair every day. If you use orthotic inserts or pads, clean them regularly as well. If you notice a stubborn smell in clothing, launder items with a bit of baking soda or vinegar in the wash. These natural remedies help neutralize odors. Dry clothes completely in sunlight when possible, as the sun's rays help kill bacteria and freshen fabrics. For shoes, try sprinkling a little baking soda inside after wearing, and let them air out in a dry spot. Replace old slippers or sneakers that never seem to lose their scent. Sometimes, it's simply time for something new. But if you do all these things and the odor persists, take a moment to notice your body, too. Are your feet often sweaty, or do you see redness, flaking, or small sores? Is the skin between your toes white and moist, or do you have any itching? These could be early signs of athlete's foot or another fungal infection. Common, but easily treatable with over-the-counter creams or a visit to your doctor. And if your shoes are always damp, consider whether circulation or swelling is an issue. Sometimes, changes in your heart, kidneys, or hormones can cause your feet to sweat more or retain moisture. Let me share a story from someone who might remind you of yourself. Mrs. Carter, a spry 75-year-old from Oregon, had a favorite pair of gardening sneakers she wore nearly every day. As the rainy season stretched on, she noticed they developed a strong, sour odor that simply wouldn't wash out. She tried airing them, scrubbing them, and even buying special sprays, but nothing helped. Soon, her feet became itchy and a little red, especially after a long afternoon outside. When she mentioned this to her daughter, they decided to ask her doctor at her next appointment. The doctor recognized the early signs of a mild fungal infection, nothing serious, but something that needed treatment. With a simple antifungal cream and new, well-ventilated shoes, both the odor and the irritation disappeared. Mrs. Carter laughed afterward. "I wish I'd asked about it sooner instead of just trying to hide my shoes from the company." Her story is a gentle reminder. Sometimes, persistent odors in our belongings aren't just about laundry or old age. They're messages, small invitations to care for ourselves a little more closely, or to check on parts of our health we might overlook. Your comfort, confidence, and well-being are worth more than any old pair of slippers. If you ever find yourself embarrassed by a stubborn odor, let that be your cue to pause, investigate, and if needed, reach out for help. There's no shame in being curious or proactive. It's a sign of wisdom earned over a lifetime. And every step you take toward freshness and comfort is a gift to yourself and those around you. So, next time you slip on your shoes or pull on your favorite sweater, listen with gentle attention. If something smells off, treat it with kindness and curiosity. Tending to these little signs is one more way to honor your health, your home, and the years of life you've walked through with grace. Every day is a chance to care for yourself in new, loving ways, because you deserve to step forward in comfort and confidence every single day. Smell 5. Unpleasant smells in your home or bedding. There's a special comfort in the familiar sense of home, a favorite blanket, the subtle aroma of clean sheets, or the inviting smell of morning coffee brewing in the kitchen. But sometimes, when you walk into a room or settle into bed at night, you catch an unpleasant odor that makes you pause. It's a musty, sour, or even sharp smell that just doesn't belong. Maybe it's coming from your bedroom, your closet, or that favorite armchair in the living room. For many older women, this experience can feel unsettling and even a little embarrassing. You might try to mask it with sprays, open the windows wider, or wash everything in sight, but the smell lingers, quietly gnawing at your sense of comfort and peace. We often tell ourselves these things are normal. After all, every house has its quirks, and old homes sometimes just smell old. But what if that persistent odor is trying to tell you something important about your environment, or even about your health? Is it just an old house smell, or could it be a gentle warning that something needs your attention? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's easy to overlook these scents, especially if you've lived in the same home for years. Our noses become accustomed to familiar smells, and over time, we might not notice gradual changes. But science tells us that our living spaces can impact our well-being, and certain odors, especially new or worsening ones, shouldn't be ignored. Musty, damp, or sour smells are often caused by mold, mildew, or bacteria, which thrive in humid or poorly ventilated areas. These invisible invaders can hide in carpets, behind wallpaper, under sinks, or deep inside bedding and mattresses. What's the big deal, you might wonder? For older adults, especially those with allergies, asthma, or weakened immune systems, exposure to mold or bacteria in the home can lead to headaches, sinus trouble, coughing, skin irritation, and even fatigue. If you notice that you're feeling more tired than usual, having trouble sleeping, or waking up with a stuffy nose or scratchy throat, your environment could be playing a bigger role than you think. Sometimes, the body is simply reacting to what it's breathing in all night long. But that's not all. Unpleasant household smells can also be a sign of hidden water leaks, plumbing problems, or even poor ventilation. If left unaddressed, these issues can get worse over time, damaging your home and potentially your health. Sometimes personal changes like increased night sweats or incontinence can cause bedding and clothing to retain odors, making it even more important to pay attention and respond with care. So, what are some practical, gentle steps you can take to address these odors and safeguard your well-being? First, take a slow walk through your home with fresh eyes and a fresh nose. Notice if any area consistently smells damp, stale, or sour. Check under sinks, behind furniture, and in closets for signs of moisture or mildew. If you find any leaks or damp patches, clean and dry them as soon as possible. Use fans or a dehumidifier if needed. Bedding deserves special attention, too. Wash sheets, pillowcases, and blankets regularly in hot water to kill bacteria and dust mites. If a mattress or pillow has absorbed too much moisture or has a stubborn odor, it may be time to replace it. your comfort and health are worth it. On sunny days, hang your bedding outside to let the sun's natural warmth and ultraviolet light freshen and disinfect. Consider using hypoallergenic mattress covers and pillow protectors to help keep everything cleaner and longer. For persistent smells, try natural remedies like baking soda, white vinegar, or activated charcoal, which absorb odors without harsh chemicals. Open your windows daily, even for a few minutes, to let fresh air circulate. Make sure your home's ventilation system is working properly and replace filters as needed. But if you've tried everything and the smell remains, don't hesitate to ask for help. Sometimes, stubborn odors are a sign of a deeper problem that needs professional attention. Whether it's a plumber, an HVAC specialist, or even a mold remediation service. And if you notice your health isn't what it used to be, if you're feeling tired, coughing more, or having trouble breathing, let your doctor know. Sometimes, the first clue to a health issue is something as simple as a change in your environment. Let me share a story that might sound familiar. Mrs. Evelyn, a spirited 78-year-old from North Carolina, loved her cozy bedroom, filled with soft quilts and cherished mementos. But after a particularly rainy spring, she began noticing a stubborn musty smell that no amount of cleaning could erase. She started waking up with a slight cough and felt unusually tired during the day. Her daughter suggested they take a closer look, and together they discovered a hidden patch of mold growing behind the dresser, where water had leaked in during a storm. With a little help from a handyman and a fresh coat of paint, the problem was solved. Evelyn's cough faded, her energy returned, and her bedroom felt truly like home again. Her experience is a gentle reminder that the spaces where we live and rest can have a profound impact on how we feel, both physically and emotionally. Sometimes, the act of listening to your home, of paying attention to small changes in scent or comfort, is an act of self-love. It's a way of honoring your health and making sure your golden years are spent in a place that nourishes and supports you. So if you ever catch a whiff of something off in your home or bedding, don't just cover it up or write it off to age. Approach it with curiosity and care. Your comfort and well-being are worth the extra attention. A fresh, welcoming home is not just a luxury. It's a foundation for health, rest, and peace of mind. Each step you take to care for your space is an investment in yourself. Let this be your encouragement. Your home should be your sanctuary, a place that lifts your spirits every time you walk through the door. Listen to what your senses are telling you, act with gentle determination, and don't hesitate to reach out for help when you need it. You deserve to breathe easy, sleep soundly, and enjoy every moment surrounded by comfort and freshness, today and every day. As we've walked through these 5 important smells together, it's clear that our bodies and environments speak to us in subtle ways that often go unnoticed or misunderstood. For many women over 60, changes in scent can feel embarrassing or confusing, but they're valuable messages from your body and home, gently guiding you toward greater care and attention. Remember, noticing an unusual vaginal odor, persistent bad breath, changes in body scent, stubborn odors in clothes or shoes, or unpleasant smells in your living space isn't about vanity or discomfort, it's about listening deeply to yourself. These signs can reveal important clues about your health, hygiene, and surroundings. They're reminders that caring for yourself means being curious and compassionate, and that small actions can lead to big improvements in how you feel every day. If any of these smells resonate with what you're experiencing, don't hesitate to take gentle steps. Whether it's scheduling a checkup, improving your hygiene routine, refreshing your home, or simply sharing your concerns with someone you trust. You deserve to live in comfort and confidence, knowing you're taking charge of your well-being. Aging is a journey full of wisdom, resilience, and grace. By paying attention to these quiet signals, you're honoring yourself and embracing the power of self-care. Every step you take toward health and comfort is a celebration of the incredible life you've lived, and the vibrant years still ahead. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, please share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips to help you live your best life after 60. Together, let's keep listening, caring, and thriving. because you truly deserve it.